I want each one of us to feel the harmony. I'm going to be using the praying beads. So it's exact 108 times. And again, the mantra is Mahamrityunjay. Or for peace and harmony, we can also use Gayatri mantra. We will use the Gayatri mantra. The mantra given from Brahma to humanity for harmony in our lives, harmony in us, harmony in the universe. Om Bhuvurvusva Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimai Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodaya. Now, I have been asked so many questions about loving Putin, sending love to Russians who are the aggressors, or sending more love, or not doing this or not doing that. The universe is perfect. If this is what is happening and there is no way that you can avoid it, then the least we can do is use this opportunity to become better people, more trusting in the universe. So it is very difficult, it is very challenging to believe in a God, because we equate God with love. So it is very difficult. What sort of a God will allow a war to be happening in a beautiful place like Ukraine? So our fundamental belief system in the system of the universe gets shaken up by the war. What sort of a God would allow suddenly a war to be happening in Ukraine, which is a beautiful place? I lived over out there for a year when I was younger, when I was a student. And I loved it. The people are much more informal, much more sunnier, because it has more sun than the other places. Very easygoing people. In that beautiful place and amongst those, why should it be subject to war, which is harsh, and so much amount of hatred is there? So this war taking place in Ukraine is more closer to us. There have been wars in Afghanistan, Iraq, Iran, genocides. But because this is in Europe, both parties are privileged races, let's say. So is it any different? Okay. It is. It's near Europe, so Europe is our fundamental place of culture and everything. So we get shaken up at a deeper level. Afghanistan had 9 million people. 3 million were killed. 3 million people were displaced. It's left only with 3 million who are basically uneducated. But that did not create so much amount of reverberation or resonance inside us, because it is Afghanistan. The people seem to be darker, they are poor, and even there have been so many movies about the white Americans, soldiers having a tough time or winning medals in Afghanistan. Well, the whole country was destroyed. All these places, and much as people would like to displace, let's say, dictators, after replacing Saddam, the country has gone down even more down the hill. This I was told by an Iraqi who had come to Canada, and he was explaining that till the dictatorship was there was law and order, and after that, it is all now chaos. And these are ancient places of civilization. But the tragedies in Iraq, Afghanistan, they did not shake us so much because it's sort of far off and the people are brown looking. So it seems to be like they are maybe not educated enough or not cultured or not definitely not sophisticated enough. So if they are fighting in an unsophisticated manner, and these places had very low weapons, sophisticated weapons in face of the American army. And they still did not let America win. Same in Vietnam. So Russian budget is supposed to be 10 times more than Ukraine, and I don't see that Ukraine will be won over. But for 2 years, these things are going to be, there is going to be violence and there is going to be a lot of ups and downs in Ukraine before it steadies itself. So when we see close to home, why is it that Ukraine is shaking us so much? One, it is near to Europe. Then the real thing is that in all the other aggressions, it was different races were fighting. So the white men were killing or bringing order to the brown or the dark world, and because if some violence is there, people in the back of their mind accepted it. But out here, the real tragedy is that for a normal person, seeing the difference between two Slavic people is almost impossible. Impossible to tell the difference, for example, between an Indian and Pakistani, except based on religion and passport. The same way between a Russian and an Ukrainian, unless they open their mouth or they have a different way of speaking, but their languages are 60% the same. Ukrainian is 50 to 60%, and so is Bulgaria and all those places. If you know Russian, you can understand it. And definitely after 3 months of living in that place, you definitely will, if you know Russian, you will be able to speak and communicate with the locals. Because the core is the same. So these two are, first of all, this is like brothers fighting each other. Two, there is a dictatorship and there is a democracy, seemingly, but not really. Ukraine, you cannot really call it a democracy. They have got a prime minister who was elected, but he was placed out there by the mass information. So in Ukraine, first they came out with a serial. So they placed an actor, and the actor was working as the hero of a TV series in which he's an everyday guy and he becomes the prime minister, and then the whole series is about how an everyday Joe like him becomes the prime minister of Ukraine, and then becomes then all his adventures basically. And then after some time, this serial with the fake prime minister, that actor was actually made the real prime minister. without any, just like in the Syria, without any political experience. But it was already, so he was sort of placed. So it's not really democracy when you are able uh, to influence the minds of the TV people so much that he was sold as a serial, which became popular, and then slowly after some time, when he already was registered in the minds as a prime minister, then he was made the actual prime minister. How wrong can you go with this sort of formula? So these both the countries have got imperfect systems, but changing these imperfect systems can lead to even more chaos. They are similar. They actually have the same history. You cannot have Russian history without Kiev, and you cannot have Ukrainian history in reality without Russia, without Russian influence for sure. So in this war, it's brothers against brothers, and it is already this war. See it as an opportunity to become even more spiritually grounded, become even more purer, even more shining golden light in your heart. If this war was not there, we would be living our lives of normal complacence. We would not be changing. And anything that makes us change, we have to thank it. So we have to thank the people in Ukraine and use their suffering, their sacrifice as a blessing for us, each one of us, become better. We are not undergoing through a bombardment. We are living more or less peacefully. So those who are taking upon themselves that violence, we have to thank them. Think of all of humanity as one. And we are in a boxing match. And now there is some place, because we are in a boxing match, some area of our body is going to be hit by the other boxer, which is God, the universe. And right now, the people in Ukraine, not at a personal level, but at a soul level, have said, we are the strong ones. We can take this beating. So that the whole organism, and the whole of the organism is what? At this time, you have to become very, very subjective. Whole of the organism is your soul power residing in your heart. I'm being very specific about the change that is being requested. The war is in Ukraine. The people of Ukraine are suffering. And there is someone who has to cause the pain. We did not come to this planet to avoid pain. Someone has to be the instrument of spreading pain. We think that pain is bad and good, and it definitely is bad when it is the people of Ukraine suffering. But that pain is already leading to vibrations of pure golden light, of faith that is grounded in your decision, that no matter what happens in the external world, I am going to be continuing. I'm going to continue to be a golden light. So there are a lot of people who say something similar, oh, we are going to be sending love to Putin so that he becomes a better person, or we are going to be sending love to Russia, or to hatred to these and this. And it's your individual decision, because most of the time people are closing eyes, and during these very extreme times, the universe inside us is dictated by our thoughts, our style of thinking, and we place a huge amount of value to these things that come up in our head when our eyes are closed. Oh, I have now spoken to Kali, and Kali is saying that this is a wartime. Oh, I close my eyes and I see Archangel Michael with a sword. He's punishing the Ukrainians for some karma. So everything, these things are happening. I'm not kidding. People are closing eyes and going off into their own personal rant. And even my family said, this is the same thing that you do. What's wrong with that? Nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. But recognize that when we close our eyes, the universe is of three types, so that you become, because for those who become scientific about it, the number one universe that we barely control is when we close our eyes, the universe which is in our heart. This golden light has got a chance of getting lighted up due to the conflict in the external part of the universe, which we know as Ukraine. But this reality is that we see our lives filtered through the golden prism of our faith or not. So if we have faith, we see that in Ukraine, whatever is happening, I am never going to stop believing in God. It's like the people who call me up and say, oh, now I'm never going to trust another partner of the opposite sex because that person hurt me. And the choice is, yeah, you can be very careful in the future with the opposite sex. If one girl or one partner has hurt you, then you may become very close. No, I'm not going to be, I don't trust men or I don't trust women anymore after the last time. But then you yourself are ordering for yourself with your closed and judgmental heart that all men or all women are like that because the last one hurt me. You are ordering and creating a closed-hearted, depressed, unrealized, very, very selfish sort of, because the people whose hearts are closed, they only think about themselves. And then it becomes even more about money, etc., because spiritual shining and spiritual things are off now for you because your heart is closed. So now you become more about energy, or you become about material things. You find that happiness over out there. But it takes, in this group, a huge amount of strength, honor, and a pure trust of which is faith, that no matter what happens in the external world, I am praying for everyone, and my heart is going to be open, shining golden light. I meet a Russian tomorrow. My wife is Russian. I'm not going, why did you do this in Ukraine? I have empathy and sympathy for them. Everyone, for all the actors, for the good as well as for the bad. They're playing their roles. People are very, very concerned. We start praying for people. Russia will do that. Yeah, pray for both. We have to pray for both. And use this opportunity. We are here. We are living in comfort. They are not. So be more appreciative of those who are suffering, because in the whole organism, we are one. They are taking upon themselves the boxing punches so that we have the luxury of living a life in which there is no war, because they are taking it upon themselves. And with this appreciation of your privileged that you are not in a war zone, in a physical war zone. You approach the war zone of your heart and have harmony. And that harmony has to be shining out, creating a golden universe inside you. So in your heart, there is one universe. The second universe around you is the universe which is co-created. And there is politics, and there is money, and there are people. And Russia and Putin is there, and Zelensky, and they are both fighting. And there's so much amount of horror. There's so much amount of uh, hatred. All this is one huge wave. The people who are hurting others are also hurt people. One of the reasons I can tell you for sure why Ukraine is happening is because 25 years ago, I was also in Russia. And when Russia broke down, was the people were used to not having the shiny things, but they were used to considering themselves to be a superpower. And suddenly, Ukraine goes away, although their satellite republics come up, and Russia is now no more a dominant power. And America, to finish the Cold War, did not have to fight a single bullet. All they had to do was ensure that the American movies were shown, the people became more and more pro American. And then, because there was no church and no religion, and consequently, no moral values, because the moral values were flowing from the Communist Party, and the Communist Party leadership was very corrupt. So there was no moral ground. And because of that, the whole country was just, you could give to, let's say, some people think that Gorbachev was responsible. Maybe. One of the views was that the West gave him a Nobel Prize, so he sold off Russia. So the point is that 25 years ago, when Putin was 45, 55, whatever, he had a trauma, and the whole Russian people went through it. And it was similar to the trauma that the German people had before the First World War, after the First World War, that they had lost. And there was a sense of shame that we are not there. And now Russia is a point where the people are feeling the same, that we need our honor, etc. We have been hurt 25 years. 25 years ago, we were a superpower. The world noticed us, and now the world is again noticing us. It's all about physical strength and army, and Ukraine is the sacrifice. The sacrifice word is very holy. I'm not in Ukraine. So I cannot say, oh, I would like to be that holy, etc. Or I appreciate the holiness of the sacrifice when their people and children are crying. It would be stupidly, it would be tactless if I would go out there and say, oh, you are guys are gifted with with aggression. It is all one. I'm in comfortable Canada. But tell me, do we have a choice? I can't make a phone call and say, oh, stop this war. So we have our limitations as a person. However, I can guarantee you that if this group will preserve and even increase the golden light of harmony in our hearts and become better people and live our lives with appreciation of the fact that we are not in the war zone. And after some time, I told you there were three universes. So the first universe inside you, the second is the co-created one. And the third universe is the original about which we have no idea, in which we are again fish in a water, cannot see water. But it's in water. How do you prove? So that level of clarity that we do not know anything, so we should not judge anything in the universe. If that is what is happening, as people, we will gather when the Canadian as a country has opened its door for the Ukrainians. So let them come, and when they come, they will be in a immigrant state. We can help them with money or whatever we can help them with. Practically, we can help them. But right now, when they are in a war zone, our mandate is that we see that we are one. This all talk is about we are one. And in the deepest part of your heart, be Ukraine and shower that country in your heart, because the three are related. The universe inside you, the universe that surrounds you, and that we call a physical reality. And the third, the unseen manifestation, because we are just a manifestation of the unseen and ununderstood. That which can never be explained, no words can reach that God in which we reside. That is the ultimate reality. And at that level, everything is perfect because it is the deepest part of the ocean. All the waves and all the storms are in the top. At that third level, channel into that sense of harmony and shower with an understanding and with a faith that soon, when you can do something about this war, maybe send $10, maybe help an immigrant when they come over, we will do something about it. Whatever you can do as a person, you will do about it. But right now, at the first level of spiritual power, at the level of heart, feel Ukraine to be there. Feel Ukraine to be there. And with the prayer, we are using Gayatri, directly from Brahma given to humanity for our spiritual growth. And have appreciation for the sacrifice of the Ukraine without any hatred for the country that is causing it. Because someone has to be the instrument of pain. How will we be able to appreciate the pleasure of our life right now if there is no pain contrast? So thanking the people, creating harmony, and making a statement with your being a better person from this very second, in full appreciation of the sacrifice of pain made by the Ukrainian people, that we don't have to go through that level of pain because that part of the world has taken upon itself that I would say the honor. And it's not an honor that is decided at a mental level of people. It may seem like that, but it's not. That is decided at the level of the third, the unseen, omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent, and omnibeneficent. Total love, but it can look like anything. So in Gita, when God is presented, he has got many faces. And in some of them, he's death, and in some of them, he's giving birth, just like me. In one of the faces of Brahma, children are coming out. And in some of them, on the right side, there are people who are going into the face, into the mouth of the death and being chewed. And that's happening whether there is a war or not. So, I'm going to be using the Gayatri mantra of harmony. We are all going to be better, more spiritually strengthened and strong people due to this war, and have always appreciated and do anything that you can. If you can help anyone in Ukraine, help them. If not now, then when they will come to Canada, help them in any way that you can. You don't have anyone, you can be having friends who have got relatives, take them out to Turkey or something. Everyone is concerned about their own relatives which are stuck over out there. So help the Ukrainians over out here, pacify them, and in that way there will be a chain reaction out there. So help anyone, do whatever you can, starting off with the fact that you are going to be a better person. Total appreciation for the sacrifice of this world. Don't judge it. I'm not asking you to judge because there is nothing that you or me can do. But we can control the shining golden faith in our heart with the clarity flowing from the scriptures, no matter what it looks like. Just pray with appreciation. It will take some time, but then we will find out, for sure we'll find out the benefit. The world through concentration camps, and the Jewish community was traumatized and they sacrificed so much. And now they have abundance of the material as well as of the spiritual. So believe in the good that will come out of it. And the first good out of this war is that you are going to be a stronger soldier, a spiritual soldier, with total faith and a golden heart, not closed with any judgment against anyone, just radiating light on everything and everyone. So we'll be using the Gayatri mantra. So you'll feel harmony, and inside your heart, at the first level of universe, see Ukraine, see all the people, the soldiers who are aggressive and also angry and sad. Always aggression is born out of sadness. And that sadness maybe started 25 years ago, doesn't matter. Shower on everyone golden rain of your blessings in the Ukraine that you will feel and see in your heart. And 108 times of Gayatri will change anything and everyone, especially as we are connected. Feel and let the shower and let this act of showering golden love on the Ukraine in your heart, on all the soldiers. This rain doesn't say, oh, you are from Russia, I'm not going to rain down on you. Totally unconditional rain on all those who are suffering. Om Bhurvusva Tat Saviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodaya. O Lord of the three worlds, Om Bhurvusva Tat Saviturvarenyam Bhargo, the Master and Lord of all, the Lord of the three worlds, the three realms, the earth, sky, and under the earth. But in total reality, it is material, spiritual, and even beyond that. The three worlds. The Lord of everything and everyone, seen and unseen. The Creator, not even the Lord. May everyone be enlightened. May everyone activate their holiness. May everyone appreciate your blessing. That's the interpretation of the Gayatri that I'm giving to you today, or through me is being communicated. In the center of your heart, see Om. In the center of the Om, see yourself sitting like a Buddha. In the center of the Buddha, micro you sitting in the center of Om, in the center of your heart. See the golden light in which all of the creation, not only the universe in which we exist, is there. And in this universe, locate Ukraine and start showering it with pure love, light, and laughter. Om Bhurvusvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodaya. Om Bhurvusvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodaya. Om Bhurvusvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodaya. Om Bhurvusvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodaya. Om Bhurvusvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodaya. Om Bhurvusvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodaya. Om Bhurvusvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodaya. Om Bhurvusvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodaya. Om Bhurvusvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodaya. Om Bhurvusvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodaya. Om Bhurvusvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodaya. Om Bhurvusvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodaya. Om Bhurvusvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodaya. Om Bhurvusvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodaya. Om Bhurvusvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodaya. Om Bhurvusvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodaya. Om Bhurvusvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodaya. Om Bhurvusvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodaya. Om Bhurvusvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodaya. Om Bhurvusvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodaya. Om Bhurvusvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodaya. Om Bhurvusvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodaya. Om Bhurvusvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodaya. Om Bhurvusvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodaya. Om Bhurvusvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodaya. Om Bhurvusvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodaya. Om Bhurvusvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodaya. Om Bhurvusvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम शांति 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 शांति। ओम सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखेन। ओम त्र्यंबकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकम् मृत्युर्मक्षेमामृतात्। ओम शांति 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 शांति। So each one of you is going to be promising and using this huge wave of blessings and prayers flowing through us to everyone in Ukraine, and ensuring that in your heart there is harmony in the Ukraine, in your heart, so that you become from now on better people. Better people means that you have an open, laughing heart and you are sharing love, light, and laughter with everyone without any judgments on the other person. Seeing God in other person without any judgment. ओम त्र्यंबकं यजामहे सुगंधिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकम् मृत्युर्मक्षेमामृतात्। ओम त्र्यंबकं यजामहे सुगंधिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकम्. And imagine that, just see that the holy fire in my hands is cleansing your heart, is cleaning your heart of all, making you fearless so that you live your life with full appreciation that you are not in a war zone. Appreciate the sacrifice of others with full tact, not beating anyone on the head with your judgment. Use your mind, intellect, and whatever comes in your head when you pray and close your eyes, for the betterment of yourself and for the betterment of others without any judgments. Become fearless in your life. Om Trembakam Yajame Sugandhim Pushtiardhanam Urvaraknan Mitermakshemam Ratat Jenya. Om Trembakam Yajame Sugandhim Pushtiardhanam Urvaraknan Mitermakshemam Ratat Galya. Om Trembakam Yajame Sugandhim Pushtiardhanam Urvaraknan Mitermakshema Hal. Om Trembakam Yajame Sugandhim Pushtiardhanam Urvaraknan Mitermakshemam Ratat Heder. Om Trembakam Yajame Sugandhim Pushtiardhanam Urvaraknan Mitermakshema Lora. Om Trembakam Yajame Sugandhim Pushtiardhanam Urvaraknan Mitermakshema Irina. Om Trembakam Yajame Sugandhim Pushtiardhanam Urvaraknan Mitermakshemam Ratat Jean. Om Trembakam Yajame Sugandhim Pushtiardhanam Urvaraknan Mitermakshemam Ratat Cat. Om Trembakam Yajame Sugandhim Pushtiardhanam Urvaraknan Mitermakshemam Ratat Larissa. Om Trembakam Yajame Sugandhim Pushtiardhanam Urvaraknan Mitermakshemam Ratat Mila. Om Trembakam Yajame Sugandhim Pushtiardhanam Urvaraknan Mitermakshemam Amratat Natasha. Om Trembakam Yajame Sugandhim Pushtiardhanam Urvaraknan Mitermakshemam Ratat Preti. Om Trembakam Yajame Sugandhim Pushtiardhanam Urvaraknan Mitermakshemam Ratat Shadi. Om Trembakam Yajame Sugandhim Pushtiardhanam Urvaraknan Mitermakshemam Ratat Shri. Om Trembakam Yajame Urvaraknan Mitermakshemam Ratat Sveta. Om Trembakam Yajame Sugandhim Pushtiardhanam Urvaraknan Mitermakshemam Ratat Tammy. Om Trembakam Yajame Sugandhim Pushtiardhanam Urvaraknan Mitermakshemam Ratat Zarina. Om Trembakam Shanti, 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 Shanti. So have no judgment even at war and everything that is happening. Have full faith that everything is connected, everything is a wave. The war will definitely lead to peace and even more harmony than there is right now. Everything that is changing is for the better. The Lord has many faces and war is one of them. Don't fall in love with this peace, because you have to be free of your only war has to be the war with your own temptations and judgments, because judgments are always going to be creating a demarcation line between yourself and the other. Judgment is always going to be when the wars were happening in Iran, Iraq, it was always the white guys fighting Islamic brown people, so it did not register. But this war is registering in your heart, and use this power of this registration in your heart to appreciate your own life and live life fearlessly with full faith in God. Be totally non-judgmental and always have the golden Ukraine in your heart, showering rainfall of pure love and blessings in the deepest part of your heart on Ukraine, and it will get reflected in the external and as well as the how I would say, the third level of God, which is absolutely unknown to everyone on the planet, which no thoughts can reach. At that level, there is no judgment because it's only pure love. But at the level of people, it's all going to be reflected as ups and downs, but it is one vibration of love. These are different contrasts, gradations of the same. Om Namo Shivaya. Be a total warrior of love in your heart, full of harmony no matter what is happening in the world around you. Om Namo Shivaya. Om Namo Shivaya. Om Namo Shivaya. And do anything that you can for the people in Ukraine or for Ukrainians, as I said, or wait for the opportunity. It will come. It will come in your life. So, at all levels, serve others, not have any judgment at the people who seem to be there. They are also traumatized. 25 years ago, they were traumatized, and now it's coming out. And now Ukraine is going to be traumatized. But it will lead to more harmony, and the people undergoing such a rigorous, painful exercise on our behalf. It could have been us. we are going through it, is for the betterment of us at a personal level. The sacrifice is personal for you to grow stronger in your faith. We just went through 108 times Gayatri. Feel how our Father in heaven, the prayer is exactly the same vibration. In Russian, Отче ясина небеса, да прославится имя Твое, да прибудет царство Твое, да исполнится воля Твоя на небе и на земле. Дай нам хлеб насущный, и прости нам наши долги, яко мы прощаем должникам нашим. Веди нас от искушения, избавь от лукавого. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on heaven as in earth. On this day give us our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those that trespass against us. Lead us from temptation, deliver us from evil. And is the power, the glory, the kingdom. Pater noster, qui escales, sanctificator nomen tuo, ad veniat regnum tuo, fiat voluntas tua, sicut in caelo in terra. Panem nostrum quotidianum nam da nobis, et dimitte nobis debita nostra, sicut debitoribus, et non nos inducas a tentationem, sed libera nos a malo, sed nobis libera nos. Amen. 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 If you have any questions,